Broke? Don't get the job. Stories you'll never forget. If you hang out with 5 rich friends, you'll end up the 6th rich guy. But if you roll with 5 fools, you're bound to be the next one. Rich folks figure out how to make money using other people's resources, while poor folks only know how to grind for cash with their own sweat. Like how Uber makes bank using other people's cars, or how some massage parlors profit off other people's partners. If you're itching to make money but don't know where to start, listen up to this story. A businessman was down on his luck, drowning in $2 million of debt. He was standing on a bridge, thinking about doing something reckless. Just then, a buddy of his heard what was going on and rushed to stop him. After hearing the whole story, his friend said, "I've got a plan to get you back on your feet." The guy didn't buy it, thinking there was no way to bounce back from a mess like that. His friend said, "If I gave you a plot of undeveloped land and $100,000, what would you do to start a business?" The entrepreneur replied that he might raise cattle or sheep to start a ranch. His friend interrupted, "With that mindset, even $200,000 would lead to losses." The entrepreneur asked, "So what should I do then?" His friend answered, "You should build a community center and invite top students from across the country to visit for events. When some win big awards, the news will spread, drawing countless parents and students to check it out." The entrepreneur hesitated, but the donations from visitors wouldn't even cover the interest, let alone pay off the debt, my friend. His friend replied, "You need to think bigger. Pave a road leading to the land, build a visitor center, and charge a $10 entry fee. With 100,000 visitors a year, wouldn't that bring in $1 million?" The entrepreneur's eyes lit up, struck by the brilliance of the idea. His friend continued, "That's not all. You could place the entrance to the visitor center a mile or 2 down the road. If visitors don't want to walk, they'll need to take a shuttle. Partner with a transportation company and lease them the rights to operate the shuttle service. You could earn hundreds of thousands more each year. Before you know it, you'll be swimming in cash." The entrepreneur, amazed, couldn't help but admire his friend's ingenious thinking. Listen, if you're broke, the last thing you should do is work a dead-end job. Sounds crazy, right? But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're already stuck in life's biggest trap. A lot of folks think, "I don't have any cash, so I've got to work for someone else and save up bit by bit." But here's what you're missing. Every time life throws you a curveball, losing your job, getting sick, or family drama, all those savings disappear in a snap. If you're poor and only banking on your own hard work to get by, you're playing a game you can't win. Rich people don't do that. They don't trade their time for money. They use money to buy back time and create opportunities. So what about those who are struggling? The poorer you are, the more you need to learn how to hustle and build your own income streams. You don't have to start a big company or go all in right away, but you've got to figure out how to make money beyond that monthly paycheck. A young guy worked with others quarrying stone in the mountains. While everyone else was crushing rocks into gravel for local construction jobs, he hauled the raw boulders to the port and sold them to city dealers who dealt in landscaping decor, since these rocks had unique shapes. He figured the value was in their look, not their weight. 3 years later, he was the first in town to build a nice, solid house. Then, quarrying got banned, and the area was restricted to planting trees, so the place turned into a sprawling apple orchard. Juicy red apples covered the hills, drawing traders from all over. They packed the apples into wooden crates, shipped them to cities, and even exported them abroad because these apples were sweet, crisp, and tasted amazing. While the townsfolk were thrilled about their better lives thanks to the apples, the guy who sold stones sold off his orchard and started planting maple trees. He realized the traders weren't worried about finding good apples. They were stressed about getting quality crates to ship them to the city. 5 years later, he was the first in town to buy a city apartment. Then, a railway line came through, connecting the east and west coasts, opening up trade for the town. As some folks started pooling money to build factories, this guy built a 10-foot-high, 300-foot-long wall at the edge of his field, right across from the tracks. On both sides of the wall were endless apple orchards. Every time a train passed, passengers admired the blooming apple blossoms and saw the billboards he'd put up on the wall, the only ones within 500 miles. That netted him an extra $30,000 a year. His story reached some big-shot entrepreneurs. Blown away by his sharp business sense, they hopped off the train to meet him. When they got there, they saw him arguing with the owner of the store across from his shop. His suits were priced at $2,000, while the other place sold the same ones for $1,800. When he dropped his price to $1,800, the other shop slashed theirs to $1,500. In a month, his store sold just 8 suits, while the other moved 800. The entrepreneurs, watching this, were let down, thinking the story about him was overhyped. But when they learned the truth, they immediately offered him $300,000 a year to work for them, because as it turned out, he owned the rival store too. When the entrepreneurs asked how he figured out this approach, the young guy replied, "Making money is easy if you set up the right system, then the cash just flows naturally." You'd be shocked to realize you've been grinding away for years without understanding how money really works. It's like running through a desert with no clue where the water is. These insights are like a map. They don't just show you how to make money easily, they teach you to break free from a broke mindset. If you've still got a spark to change your life, follow my channel and join me in putting this timeless wisdom into practice every day.